What's going on, everyone? This is Nate the Great coming to you live from the All Sports All Plays Network. This is the ASAP Wrestling Hour, and I am here today with Ray Cruz. Ray, how are things going on your end?
I'm going good, Nate. How you doing?
I'm doing well. So I was right. I'm just gonna start off with that. I was right about my MVP prediction about him compete. Well, okay, there's a little bit more to that match. I will say that. I was about competing in a match against Kofi Kingston, as I mentioned about it last week. But before we get into things, let's start off with the very first part of Monday Night Raw. And Miz TV came on. And Miz TV, you had pretty much everybody on the Raw roster on Miz TV. Everyone on that Raw roster on the Miz TV that was competing for that Money in the Bank. It competing in Money in the Bank, not as a pre-show kind of thing, but it's more like I don't want to say pre-show, but more like the main event. Really, to how to look at it, and honestly, I would have to. I really have. Could you honestly see a rivalry going on between AJ Styles? I mean, I know it's not going to be long term, like we've been saying for Randy Orton and Riddle, but could you see like a couple of week long rivalry going on between AJ Styles and Riddle?
I think Riddle can compete with anybody. I mean, he's smart. The way he carries his character, I think that's the reason why Randy Orton wants to work with him. I can see them carrying this out for probably about 2 to 3 months, maybe not a whole year rivalry type deal. It all depends on how they use Omos on this and how they use Randy Orton. Will Randy Orton hit the RKO on Omos? Will Omos dominate the whole time? I mean, if you look at AJ Styles and Omos' character here, Omos dominates the match. They keep AJ in the ring for a long time, then Omos comes in and cleans the house. So I mean, you gotta figure out how you're gonna play Omos in this rivalry between AJ Styles and Riddle and Randy Orton. How they gonna carry this out and play? I can see it going on for a couple months, maybe 3 at the most, and then Randy Orton turn on Riddle. But right now they're making almost like a giant, unstoppable giant, because he's not really been contested. He's not really been beat down or anything like that. So it's an unmovable force with AJ Styles. And keep AJ Styles in the ring long time and keep Omos contained, I think they'll have a chance.
And do you think there's going to be a little bit of a storyline? Because the only person that honestly helped them out during the whole Miz TV segment was Drew McIntyre when he was hurt. I mean, Ricochet tried, but John Morrison kind of got in his way. If I have to be honest, I can see a match coming up with John Morrison and Riddle.
That too, or it could be. I think John Morrison and Ricochet would be a better matchup, really, because they're both same athleticism and stuff like that. Riddle, he's an athletic kind of guy, but he's more of a powerhouse, a more finesse MMA style style fighter. I mean, Morrison's style, he can go anywhere he wants to because it's just the way he does his moves are more of his workout moves. If you watch his workout pre-regiment workouts and stuff is very similar to his way he wrestles. And I mean, his matchup style can match up with either Riddle or Ricochet, but I like to see Ricochet and Morrison get going at it. I think that would be a good rivalry there. And then AJ Styles and Riddle will be a good rivalry too, adding with Orton in the mix with Omos. So, I mean, you got to look at the way this is standing. We don't know which way this could stand. WWE might have Riddle and AJ Styles go at it for a while. I mean, that'd be a good rivalry too. But I think it's going to be more of Orton turning on Riddle, and Riddle and Orton's going to have a longer chemistry together. So I think that's going to be it set. But then again, you're going to have what you're going to do with AJ Styles and Omos. I mean, you're going to have to put the New Day back together and put them in tag team competition against AJ Styles and Omos, and probably adding Big E to that mix to help distract Omos and to win the title back from AJ Styles. I think once AJ Styles and them drops the title, I think AJ Styles is going back to the World Championship or USA title single match title. So
I think to be honest, now here's my prediction with Money in the Bank. I think Big E's going to be the winner. And I think Bobby Lashley is going to lose his title, not to Kofi Kingston, but to Big E. And that's how Big E is going to return back to Monday Night Raw. And I think that's really how that the New Day Trio is going to come back.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to either be one or two things. Big E could win Money in the Bank, but also you got to forget. Don't forget the draft is coming up too. WWE is going to hold that draft. So I mean, that's one way, another way that Big E can end up back on Monday Night Raw. They're gonna have to put Big E back with Kofi Kingston and stuff because right now what they're doing on SmackDown is not working with him because once they got rid of Aleister Black, that went the storyline for Big E. Big E needs to get back into a ring, but I'd like to see Big E do compete for a title. And one way you could do that too is Kofi Kingston, has a matchup against the world title, but then bows down and tells Big E he deserves it. So I mean, we have seen storylines like that before too, where when a friend turned it over to one of his friends saying, "Hey, you deserve a title shot here. Why don't you take my shot at the title?"
I'm sharing this a couple of times, but while this is going, let's go through it match by match. Starting off with the first match of the day, which was John Morrison versus Ricochet, and the winner of that match was John Morrison beating Ricochet. Now, honestly, I didn't really care too much about the story behind this match, but I loved the athleticism in this match. I love this match bursts off of the moves being made and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean the moveset, the skill sets is great. Both guys got good high flying moves. Both got grounding moves. But the only thing I don't like about this match was it ended on a count out. I mean, you have two great athletes going out against each other. Well, let them go mano, but you had the Miz blocking Ricochet get back in the ring for Johnny Drip or Johnny Morrison winning the bout on a count out. I mean, come on, you had these two guys who's doing awesome skill set moves, and then you're gonna have Miz interfering in and where Ricochet didn't get back to the ring and had Johnny Morrison win on a count out. I mean, to me, I think they should have just carried this thing on the way out and had them finishing in the ring instead of having that count out.
Yeah, I didn't like the count out either. There was one other match which we'll get to that I didn't really like how the ending went as well. Next up was Nikki Ash, Alexa Bliss, and Naomi versus Asuka.
Sorry, I don't know that.
I keep doing that every single week. I keep doing that every time I mention Alexa Bliss. That name Okay.
That Name by Yolanda Adams on Amazon Music.
Hold on, guys.
Alexa Bliss.
Okay. So it was Nikki Ash, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, and Asuka versus Jax, Baszler, Doudrop, and Eva Marie. And the winner of this match was Eva Marie. No, I'm kidding. The winner of this match was Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Doudrop, and Eva Marie. I think next week how they're really going to set this up is I think Eva Marie is going to have a match with one of the other 3 tag team partners that she competed with this week. So really because of that inning, the winner is Eva Marie. Mm-hmm. I think really because of that inning, I think that she might have a match next week. Probably with Shayna Baszler or somebody else in that tag team.
You're talking about Alexa Bliss?
8-1. What?
You talking about Alexa Bliss?
No, Eva Marie.
Oh. I don't know. I mean, Eva Marie, I don't know. Her wrestling skills are not really up to par to my thinking.
Which is why I think it's going to be a blowout next week.
And her partner, Doudrop, you know, I think she's going to probably be the one to interfere, and Eva Marie's going to probably win if whatever battle they do next week. I think that's why Vince McMahon likes the Eva Marie and Doudrop storyline gimmick. So you never know that Doudrop could be outside the ring and interfere at any time. I can also see Alexa Bliss going up against Nia Jax too next week, you know. With Reginald getting involved in her little escapade with Reginald, you know, you saw them getting in that trance in this match anyway. So I mean, I think Alexa Bliss is probably going to go up against Nia Jax. I can see Eva Marie against Baszler, and with Doudrop interfering. You know, then again, you got Nikki. You know. I'm still up to Paul. I think Nikki is going to join Alexa Bliss, and it's gonna be like a Suicide Squad, like the movie called Suicide, the Suicide Squad in the movie. I think WWE might be on a little brand here to bring in a little suicide because you got Alexa looking like Harley Quinn. You got a superhero Nikki ASH. Formerly known as Nikki Cross. Then you can have Sasha Banks probably joining in Money in the Bank too. You know, she could play another kind of superhero. So we could see a mob squad, you know, a Suicide Squad WWE style. So, you know, Vince McMahon is good about doing that.
My only problem with it is how is this really going to go up when Alexa Bliss has to face, you remember it's Money in the Bank. Alexa Bliss has to face Nikki Cross in that match. How is that really going to work out? How is that storyline going to work out when we know that them two are going to have to face against each other?
Well, I mean, Money in the Bank is not based on storyline. Money in the Bank is based on getting that contract, getting that next world championship match. That's basically what it is all friends, all come, all four. I mean, you know, you have friends going up against friends in the Royal Rumble. It's basically the same way in the Money in the Bank match. They're all going for the world's title. It's not based on a storyline. It's based on getting that contract and being that Money in the Bank winner and going after your world title. And then the storyline comes second. But to me, that storyline, you know, it can play two ways. She could help Alexa Bliss get that title, get that, you know, the Money Bank. They probably had it all set up. I mean, as many ways you can spin this too. As many ways you can spin. I mean, Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss have got good chemistry together. You throw in Sasha Banks, you throw in that Suicide Squad kind of gimmick. But then you got to watch out too. We don't know when the Fiend's coming back. We don't know when Barry Wyatt's coming back. Wyatt could make his presence felt at the pay per view just like Alexa Bliss did at WrestleMania.
All right. So moving on to this next match, Mustafa Ali versus Mansoor, and this match is one that I really didn't care about because this is one of those matches that they did not put on Hulu. That's really the only reason. Although I do have one thing though. When is Hulu going to put Mansoor? When is a Mansoor match going to be put on a live TV for Hulu? Well, not live TV, but Hulu match.
I don't know. Don't know what the storyline behind this Mansoor is. They brought him up out of NXT. He was great in NXT. I can see some inserts that Ali won underhanded cheat. Ali had a cheat win over him, which is exactly what he needed to do to prove his point to the man he is trying to mentor. That Mansoor must be more aggressive. Judging from the looks on Mansoor's face after he lost, the message got through loud and clear. This is a fresh feud with two guys who hadn't had a lot of screen time in 2021. Let's hope WWE allows to play out. I mean, this is a good example of this Mansoor and Ali. Ali wants to be his mentor type deal. Let this play out. Don't hope Vince McMahon don't ruin this angle. Let them play out. If it don't show up on Hulu, that's fine. We see it on Monday Night Raw live. Hulu ain't gonna put these matches on there until it gets really to a high pinpoint of the feud. So, it's got to get a little bit more. Mansoor's got to get a little bit more familiar with rarity. Hardly nobody knows who he is if you don't follow NXT. So, I mean, they got to get him on the map, and this is the way to get him on the map.
Yeah, it's like a ladder. He's building his way up. Next match is one that I really didn't. I did not like the ending. I love the match. I just didn't like the ending. And the winner of this was Drew McIntyre beat Jinder Mahal by disqualification.
Well, put it this way: McIntyre don't have to have a title. He's getting over. I mean, it's straight out. People like McIntyre. It's getting straight. He's getting over, regardless if he's got the title or if he's losing a match or if he's getting beat the crap out of. People are still going to follow McIntyre. He's got a big present followings online. He's, people are getting to his character. I like the way they're building his character. Put him up, put him down. Getting beat up. He's going through where he needed to be. If this was the old Drew McIntyre, this would never get over well with him. You can see how he let this come along and how he built his character back, how he got back into it. So, to me, having Jinder Mahal beat him down and taking his sword, I don't get him why he's taking the sword because, the sword don't really.
We'll find out next week.
I mean, unless they're just trying to get rid of Drew McIntyre and the sword, entrance. I don't know. That's the only way I could tell about Jinder Mahal. I really don't. Jinder Mahal is just they pushed Jinder Mahal on the first time and they started pushing back again. I just don't like Jinder Mahal's character. We've seen it before. He's a big 6'10" kind of guy, but he's got two big goons helping him out. Come on, you got a 6'10" guy, don't need no help like that. I just don't like the character. I just don't like Jinder Mahal's character right now. I just don't like the two goons with him, and him getting back with McIntyre and going up against, and he gotta beat him down and get disqualified and take a person's sword. I've seen this over and over too many times.
To me, this is a lot like the John Morrison Ricochet match. I hated the ending and I hated the storyline with it, but the match itself, I love that.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, the storyline with him and Jinder Mahal, I can see, but get rid of the two goons and then have him go a mano. Instead of having him just disqualified and take something that belongs to him.
Up next is a match. We haven't seen. Be honest, I feel like we haven't seen the Lucha House Party in a while. Outside of battle royales. Honestly, in this one, this was another one that was not put on Hulu. It was Mason T-Bar versus Lucha House Party. I felt like when they did this wave of cuts, I felt like the Lucha House Party, like the whole tag team, was going to be one of those people cut because they haven't done much with this character at all. Any of these guys, I should say.
Yeah. I mean, Mason T-Bar, I mean, the two big goons, house parties. Lucha House Party looks like Rey Mysterio out there with double Rey Mysterio type like luchadors and stuff like that. So, I mean, I can understand this match. I can understand T-Bar. I can understand, that Lucha House Party's winning with a victor roll. I mean, it's a shade back to the Rock and Roll Express when they took on the Ivan and the Russian Bear, Nikita Koloff, when he first came on the scene in NWA. I mean, it's a very and I mean, Lucha House Parties are more. They give you more refresh if they not have been on the TV all the time. You respect what their moves, his movesets, you respect what they can do. But I like to see the Lucha House Party now build off this momentum and try to go up and compete for a tag team title match.
Mm-hmm. Up next is Riddle versus AJ Styles, and this was not even close my favorite match of the night. I know Riddle was hurt. Let's just start off by I'm going to ask, how do you think before the match, Riddle had a conversation with I'm blanking on the guy's name. What?
AJ Styles?
No, not AJ Styles. Riddle had a conversation with somebody else.
Oh, you're talking about the emphasis one. The dude.
He had a rivalry with Miz.
Yeah, no, it's the I can't think of his name now. I know who you're talking about. It's let me see if I can get to that match. Let me see. He's the emphasis one, and he's the arrow kind of broken arrow.
Yeah,
kind of guy. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Well,
yeah,
anyway,
that was pretty cool. So
my question is, how do you think, really, if the rivalry starts to happen, how do you think he's going to fit in the story?
I don't think it's much of a fit. I think they knew each other as friends and from the NXT, so they went on and started chatting and stuff like that. I don't see them two end up being a rivalry. I mean, unless he's going to come to the help when Randy Orton turns on him.
I'm not saying. Oh, I wasn't saying Riddle and that guy being a rivalry. I just think that he's going to have some sort of role in this story.
Or it could be setting them up where he comes out and helps Riddle while Randy Orton is not there, and he ends up having a feud with AJ Styles. I mean, it's a lot of ways you could break it down. They don't have anything for him, so they just putting him on air maybe to waste some time. And he got a cool, they have a cool handshake back in NXT, so they decided to do it here. I mean, everything on the backstage is not going to be where it's going to be towards him interfering or him getting into this thing, but also it could be setting him up with AJ Styles, once they get everything situated here.
I'm looking it up real quick because I really don't remember the dude's name. Damian Priest. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's Damian Priest. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, maybe they're waiting for the Miz to get healed up, and then Priest and the Miz is going to go back at it once again.
I think they really should end it like they said they were going to.
Yeah. I mean, who knows?
But at the same time, Cesaro wanted to end his feud with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is all no, and they're still continuing it.
Yeah, but Seth Rollins is, if you haven't noticed something about Seth Rollins, they're trying to lean him towards turning him back good again and leading towards him and Roman Reigns going at it.
Yeah.
So.
So I don't want to talk about that one. Next, the final match of the night was the New Day versus the Hurt Business, and the winner of this match was the New Day. I called it about MVP coming back in wrestling. I said it last week, and I said it actually in a couple of text messages as well. Yeah, I had a feeling that the way they were kind of pulling it off, that MVP was going to wrestle this week.
Yeah, but you know he's going to be in a tag team. You know he won't be out there a single match.
I know.
I mean, he's getting too old to be out there. I mean, you know, if you look at him, he can still move around the ring. He still hang with some of the big time players, but he still lost a step here and there. That was the same MVP that we have seen in the past. I like the actual storyline between Kofi Kingston and Woods and Bobby Lashley. I like the way they ended the match. Was taking out Lashley and then leaving, Kofi Kingston with MVP and Kofi Kingston taking the victory for New Day. It's leading to that pay-per-view. Like I said, if you watch some of these pay-per-view, watch some of these matches and who wins most of them, that means they're going to probably end up losing at the pay-per-view. So, I mean, it's good for Kofi Kingston. We don't know if Kofi Kingston is going to take the title away. We have to watch the next few matches here leading up to the Money in the Bank. But right now, if you're looking at it, it's going to probably be Bobby Lashley taking. But then there's rumors that Brock Lesnar is somewhere lurking and the probably going to be at Money in the Bank. He might surface during this match too. So,
I think that Kofi Kingston. I think Bobby Lashley is going to lose his title to Big E. That's really where I'm still saying it at. Maybe SummerSlam.
Nah, I think
maybe if not SummerSlam, like further on, maybe when we get towards like next year's WrestleMania, maybe. So. Moving away from Raw, going to SmackDown. Edge, it really starts off. Edge addresses Roman Reigns, which, by the way, Roman Reigns did not make an appearance in Friday Night SmackDown, period.
He was in Pensacola.
What?
He went back home to Pensacola to be with his daughter.
Oh, okay. So it started off with Edge addressing Roman Reigns about how really his comeback story was supposed to go, and how really things went towards Roman Reigns. A couple things did not go in his favor, and then he showed a couple of photos that made people believe that Edge really one of the few people that actually can beat Roman Reigns. Honestly, if Daniel Bryan wasn't there in that triple threat match, do you think that it? Do you think if it was 1-on-1, do you think Roman Reigns would have lost? Do you think it would go towards Edge's favor, or do you think Roman Reigns would continue on his dynasty even if Daniel Bryan did not make an appearance?
I think, well, Roman Reigns was set to win regardless of whoever they faced in that pay per view. But Edge, they made it out to be like some kind of storyline to where put Edge out for a little while, have him have a break, come back, and be this ruthless kind of Edge that we see now. I think it's brilliant. I think the way they had it match set up. I think Roman Reigns could lose to Edge if they want Edge to have one more title run before Edge decides he wants to call it quits. Edge just said he's got one more run in him. So that's going to be a good question coming up. How is this going to work out in the Money in the Bank situation with Edge and Roman Reigns? I don't think Edge is going to come out with it because we know that John Cena is on his way back to battle for the Universal or the Raw's Championship. One of the two is either. But we have noticed that John Cena wants to go against Roman Reigns. And then we know that perhaps John Cena might win that match, taking the Universal title to break Ric Flair's record for the most championship. So, I mean, that's going to be tough sledding here for Edge. I think Roman Reigns is going to probably take it. Or if Edge wins, it's going to probably be by disqualification.
Do you think now my question is, do you see John Cena taking the title away from Edge? Then, when it comes back around, Roman Reigns takes the title from John Cena.
No. The plan is that John Cena is going to take the title from Roman Reigns, and then Roman Reigns is going to retake the title back from John Cena. It's supposed to be the passing of the torch type thing between Roman Reigns and John Cena. It always has been set up like that in professional wrestling, passing the torch. That person who's going to pass the torch is going to take it from them, and then that person is going to come back and take it back. Now, I can see Edge after that taking back the title from John Cena. I can see Edge taking the title from Roman Reigns and, going for a little bit more of a show and a little bit longer. But right now, this pay-per-view is just in the middle here. I think it's just a show cause to get it over, let John Cena. But I don't know how WWE, because WWE has not officially said that what John Cena is going to be doing when he comes back. We were assuming that he's going to go up get a title. He could end up going up against Bobby Lashley and winning that title and carrying it over. So we don't know which way are they going to lean him to, Raw, or are they going to lean him to SmackDown. I'm just presuming that he's going to go up against Roman Reigns, take the title from Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is going to retake the title back from John Cena.
So the first match of the night on the Friday for Friday Night SmackDown was a tag team match. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Big E. Sorry, Shinsuke Nakamura and Big E versus Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. Thankfully, finally, this King gimmick is over. And they kind of teased it a few times here, which really I feel like this couple of teases is really setting up Baron Corbin's character, especially towards the end where his car got towed.
Yeah, it's some about and I've seen some come across saying that they're gonna be Smile Corbin Smile or something like that. It's gonna be his new gimmick or something. Gonna make Corbin be upset and stuff like that, make him look gloom, and then they're gonna, put some kind of smile and stuff like that or some. But he's not going back to his original character as the I guess the lone wolf when he was in NXT. I like that character more than what they're gonna try to force him into this time. So the King Corbin gimmick is gone. It's going to be Smile Corbin Smile or some kind of smile Corbin Smile or something like that, where he's always going to be looking unhappy and wants to put a smile on his face and stuff like that. I don't know if this is actually going to be a turn where he's going to be turning him to a good guy per se. I don't know exactly how this is going to work. It's kind of unusual. I mean, you got a big, tall, groomy looking giant, kind of guy. And you can put a little smile, like a little rinky-dink smile. It's Corbin's smile. I mean, come on, man. You got to make the dude look tough, not like a little pansy.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I mean, maybe for like the first few weeks, maybe I can see him being a pansy. But after those first few weeks, really you got to build some other tough gimmick, but not like that.
I mean, you can from this way to have him being all like grumpy and looking at. Now you can bring back his lone wolf character because now he will be a lone wolf. I mean, he's gonna be without the king. He's gonna be without a kind of friends type deal thing. So you can bring back the lone wolf right here. I mean, that'd be a great character for him to come back on, but I don't know. They talking about some Corbin smile kind of gimmick. I've seen some rumors pop up, so I don't think I'm gonna like it either. I think he's better as a lone wolf. So,
after the next match after that, it really wasn't a match. It was more of a challenge. Bianca Belair set up an I Quit match to Bayley. And Bayley kind of had her own quote line and said, if I quit, I'm going to quit WWE, quit Friday Night SmackDown, that kind of thing. The way they're setting this up, I know they did the same thing to Daniel Bryan, but the way they're setting this up, I feel like this is really the last. This is where Bayley is going to take the title away from Bianca Belair.
It could happen here, but I think this I Quit match reminds me of Tully Blanchard and Magnum TA back in the 80s. That's when their first I Quit match came from. Magnum TA wasn't champion. Tully Blanchard was champion. They beat the butt out of him, and Magnum TA finally had Tully Blanchard made him I Quit. This could feel the same way with Bayley making her say I quit, but then again they made Bianca Belair kind of a tough woman, powerful woman. So making her lose to Bayley in a I Quit match is gonna have to be something really, really, really powerful way to make her do that, and that's gonna have to be Bayley probably putting her in some kind of injury form and having Bianca Belair go off the air for a while. To keep Bianca Belair's character where she is right now. If you just have Bayley go out there and pummel her and then make her say I quit, it's gonna make her look less. So if Bayley's gonna win, it's gonna be something really treacherous, like Bayley's putting her in some kind of really hurtful move or really hurt her really bad and have her be off the air for a while to keep her character being that tough-minded character. That's the only thing I'm saying. That's the only thing I'm really worried about how the WWE is going to do this. If they make Bianca Belair, I can see her just making Bayley say I quit because that's how powerful she really is. But Bayley being a powerful woman like that is going to have to really keep Bianca Belair's character where she is. She's going to have to really do something really drastic and making Bianca Belair be off the air for a few weeks to sell that character stuff.
Yeah, if Bailey loses this, I just can't see Bailey living up to her promise of the leaving SmackDown, that kind of thing, leaving WWE. I think we are going to see her again.
I don't think we're going to see her leaving WWE, but I think we would see her leaving SmackDown, going to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I can see that too.
So,
look, after that happened was the last standing match. The winner of this one was Kevin Owens, defeating Sami Zayn to make it into the make his entrance, not into the Money in the Bank. So I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of text here. And I'm confused on what they're really doing with Sami Zayn at this point.
They're in a limbo with Sami Zayn. They use the gimmick of him being, scrutinized. Theory, kind of like a theory kind of guy. I think they starting to do a little bit more of a transition with Sami Zayn. I think this is the closeout chapter of the Owens Sami Zayn fight. I mean, they really do have chemistry with each other. They've really been good friends. They're still friends and stuff like that. So they have really good chemistry together on the thing. But it's time for this feud to go. And I think it's time to bring Sami Zayn character to another twist. Re-imaging Sami Zayn back into I liked Sami Zayn when he was a good person. All the cheers and stuff like that from the crowd. I think they should go back to some sort like that with Sami Zayn. This character right here, I don't like. He doesn't make a really good bad guy type deal. He's always been to me. He's overdoing his heel run. I think he should go back to being on the good side and bring back that cheerful Sami Zayn chants and stuff.
Yeah, I see that. I just hate this conspiracy theory gimmick. I hate it. That I really didn't. Let's see if I have something. It's just stretched out. It's a gimmick that's been going on for so long. And I've been told in the past, before I started watching wrestling for the second time, that this conspiracy theory gimmick with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn has been a WrestleMania gimmick match like 15 times before.
Yeah. Well, I know why they did it. This conspiracy theory is based off of Jesse the Body Ventura's conspiracy theory TV show, and WWE was making fun of it. And the way they were doing it, they were using Sami Zayn to make fun of it, because Jesse the Body Ventura and Vince McMahon has a feud going on with each other. So I think it's just Vince McMahon going back at Jesse the Body Ventura with his theory show and going with that. I think it's ran its course. I think it's time for it to drop it. I think it's time for him to move on, because it's not really doing anything for us. It doesn't have an end. I mean, what's he doing? I mean, all he's doing is going around saying, "Hey, I lost the Intercontinental title. This is blah blah blah," which was false anyway, because he lost it fair and square. So I mean, to me, I think the gimmick was over after Jeff Hardy lost the Intercontinental Championship belt. I think the gimmick is over.
Um, after that, Liv Morgan faces Selena Vega. This is basically a repeat of last week. Liv Morgan won this match, but both Selena Vega and Carmella by Sonya Deville basically granted both of them the opportunity to compete in Money in the Bank. Do we think that we're really at this point? Do you think we're going to see that Liv Morgan's going to get that opportunity as well?
Eventually, because Liv Morgan's living up to her thing. I mean, she's already beat Sonya Vega twice, and the interesting part about this, by bringing Sonya Vega back, is she's married to Aleister Black. So the question is Aleister Black going to end up coming back here too? Because he hasn't signed with AEW yet. He hasn't signed with nobody. So it's a very interesting by Aleister Black. If they bring Aleister back, then we might see Big E stay around, because that feud could be back on. With this match here, I think Liv Morgan lived up to her name, Liv Morgan. I think she lived up to her ability. I think she's proven her point. I think next week we might end up seeing Liv Morgan versus Carmella, and if she beats Carmella, I think she might get granted into the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, she deserves to get it. That's really, the next match after that was Angelo Dawkins versus Otis. And the winner of this one was Otis defeating Angelo Dawkins.
Yeah.
It was Bleacher, the where I'm reading this from, they gave this match an A. Do you agree with that?
Well, I mean, I don't like Otis's look. I don't like the way they made him look. But the match was good. I mean, he put it where it needs to be. Angelo Dawkins is he's fighting for the revenge of his partner Montez Ford, for the hands of Masters Odom and Gable. I mean, this is, I think it just shows that they're improving Otis. Otis is improving. So, I mean, this match was good. This match was sold perfectly because they're putting Otis over, and I think Dawkins sold the match good. I think just that's why it was an A, because both of them had good chemistry in the match, and they lived up to the hype. It lived up to where we wanted to see Otis squashing, this person. So basically, that's what happened.
So, after that one, that was the last match of the night, but that wasn't really the last part of Friday Night SmackDown. Edge completely beats down Jimmy Uso. Now, again, we talked about this earlier. The question is, how well is he going to do one-on-one against Roman Reigns? It's really what I want to see.
Edge can hold his own with Roman Reigns. It's the point where we want to know what's in Vince McMahon's mind about this about this Edge and Roman Reigns match. Is he going to pull the trigger and let Edge beat Roman Reigns, and then have Roman Reigns beat him back somewhere between now and SummerSlam? We don't know. We don't know what's going on, how this is going to play out. I mean, I really like Edge's demeanor right now. I think Edge could pull the victory out for Roman Reigns, because we seen him beat down Roman Reigns last week, and Roman Reigns not being here this week is proving a point that he might be getting scared of Edge. He might be worried about Edge, but then again, we can see Edge win the match, but Roman Reigns get disqualified, so he won't lose the belt.
So I'm gonna go look at the schedule because there's one more thing that I have to, one more thing that I wanted to talk about for Friday Night SmackDown, and I think next, next week is the last time that there will be a Friday Night SmackDown in the Thunderdome.
Yep, they go on the road,
and then they go back on the road.
Yep,
I'm excited. I'm excited because I'm excited because they actually are one of the first stops that they're going to make. Actually, two of the first stops that they're going to make. Money in the Bank is in Fort Worth, and Monday Night Raw on July 19th is in Dallas.
On the Dallas.
So really, I lost track of time, and I didn't realize that we really we've talked for about 51 minutes so far. So we'll go quickly through AEW real quick, but not too long. I'm going to pull this up real fast. Anything else that you want to say either on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown?
Yeah, September 3rd, I will be at WWE SmackDown here in Jacksonville. And also that Monday night, before that, I'll be at Monday Night Raw in Orlando, which is only 2 hours away from here. So I get to go back to see WWE live. AEW is going to hit the road too, so they're moving out of Jacksonville for a while. So that was going to be there, and then we got that one topic we need to talk about before we leave too.
Yeah, actually, let's go through that real quick before. Let's go through that real quick before we talk about AEW. Speaking of the Roman Reigns storyline, Jimmy Uso has been arrested for DUI, I think, right? DUI charges, right?
Yep. Oh.
So now I don't know how long this is for, but he's probably going to be missing some time, or at worst, he could be leaving WWE for this. I don't think so, but I think he could.
It's well, I got two reports here. You know, he got called for DUI back in 2019. The charges were dropped. He was not found guilty for that one. He was arrested for something else in 2006. This is another DUI charge. WWE's waiting on for the final verdict of this charge, if it's going to stick or not. There's some few inconsistent stories there were, but he did take a breathalyzer test. He blew a .202.205. The legal limit is .08 here in Florida. He got this DUI in Pensacola, Florida. That's where they live at, where Roman Reigns and all them actually live in Pensacola, Florida. Here and you know, he was going. This happened at 10:35 p.m. on Monday night after allegedly running a red light while going 50 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. We know that Uso was asked to get out of the car after police smelled alcohol while questioning him. Police alleged that Uso was noticeably swaying when he got out of the car. So, I mean, he was bond said was $500. He was released at 9 a.m. the next morning. The police document shows Uso was also cited for speeding and running a red light. So he's got some traffic citation. I went on ahead and Google if WWE is going to make any punishments, and this is what I came up with here. They said that they have Metzler came out and made a comment about it. He said that the company and Jimmy Uso is in good standings with each other. He knows that punishment will be coming down, but he said that it might not be no harsh punishment of him getting fired or anything like that. But I'm probably about between a 30-day to 60-day suspension might be coming his way. So that's going to put a little bit of a kick in that storyline a little bit here, having the Usos going back for the world's title, tag team title. So, I mean, we'll have to see what the outcome is, and that's what they're waiting on, the outcome for the police department, and find out what they're going to charge him with and how they're going to charge him, and then they're going to do it accordingly. But he said Jimmy Uso knows that a punishment is coming from the WWE.
Yeah, punishment's probably going to be coming. But really, I think this is going to hurt the head of the table gimmick, because it's just him and Paul. It's just Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. That's it. I mean, there's no Uso. Yes, but didn't they say in WWE that Jay's not coming back?
Jay's coming back. Jay's going to be there. He's coming back, but he's been wrestling by himself, so he's going to be back in that form where Jimmy's been doing. They're just going to put Jay back in that spot. They haven't said Jay was never going to leave WWE anyway. And it was just him and Jimmy was just alternating right now because Jay needed some time off to take care of some personal business and stuff like that. And that's why they put Jay. That's why they put Jimmy in there. And then Jimmy got this, so they're gonna put Jay back in there. I mean, they swapping him and out. So I mean, but Jay's been wrestling because Jimmy's been hurt. So Jay's been wrestling by himself. He can handle his own with some single matches here for the next 30 to 60 days. Depends on how long WWE decides to spend Jimmy Uso. So, but I mean, right now, but you also got to understand too. I've been seeing other from his family. I've been seeing other messages coming out telling Roman Reigns he needed to slack off on his brothers, and stuff like that. So it's been outside interference. It's been outside people from the Roman Reigns family making some chimes on the media because they're trying to push where The Rock is coming back in SummerSlam anyway to fight the fight part of Roman Reigns and stuff like that. So we don't know exactly how that's going to be doing, if it's going to be SummerSlam or if it's going to be WrestleMania when The Rock comes back. So we're trying to find that point out from The Rock. Rock has really not decided what he's going to be doing, if it's going to be early or if it's going to be later.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I am having a hard time trying to find the stuff for the AEW. So, anything in particular that you really wanted to talk about that went down on AEW a few days during this last episode?
Well, I like the MJF and Sammy Guevara's attention here, and getting attention and they battle each other. So I think that's going to be coming to a head here soon. That MJF and Sammy Guevara is going to have a great feud together. I think that feud is going to last probably about maybe like 3 or 4 months, maybe, and it ended into another brawl out in the stadium somewhere. But I mean that, and then I've seen some images of Jon Moxley, who's now bald. He shaved all his hair off, so he's gonna change his looks a little bit too. So you see Jon Moxley might be coming back here shortly to AEW to probably regain momentum with Omega. So AEW is starting to evolve a little bit more. Jon Moxley is going to start coming back. He's taking off from his baby leave time because his wife had a baby and stuff. So he's going to end up coming back, and he's got a new look. He's completely bald. He's got a bald hair and a beard, I think.
All right. This has been Nate the Great and Ray Cruz signing out. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.